Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the thing. My name is Hans Kim. I'm here with James Schrader, San Diego comic and podcaster.
Podcaster, commercial actor, father, divorcee.
Are you
All the
in podcasting?
I have a podcast. We have not started that podcast, like putting out the podcast. I'm actually in the process of building my podcast studio, if you will, back in San Diego. So
That's fun.
yeah, I'm enjoying it. I should have been doing it
Do you do other people's podcasts?
when I can. There's not a ton going on in San Diego, but yeah.
What's the biggest podcast in San Diego?
As far as comedians go, probably Dustin Nickerson's podcast.
Awesome.
And he only does that with his wife, so you can't even do it. It's just he and his wife talking.
That's
But,
fun.
yeah.
It's got like big on the lonely housewife market.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they got a heck of a following. Dustin's doing great.
Wow.
Do you know Dustin? Do you know?
No.
So he's been
Maybe.
touring with Taylor Tomlinson a bunch.
Okay.
And he went on Burt Kreischer's tour on the buses, the Birdie tour, whichever tour that was.
Nice.
And yeah, so he's been doing.
That's
Dustin's-
awesome. That's the same thing that Brian Simpson was on.
Correct. Yeah, we're on the. If you saw the side of the bus where they all have Bert's body and their heads. Yeah,
Nice.
that one.
I haven't seen the bus.
Yeah.
Was it in San Diego? You guys all went or
What do you mean?
to the show, or how did you know what the bus looks like?
Well, just like Bert's social media. I saw it
Oh,
posted.
okay.
So, yeah, I didn't even know if they
check it
came
out.
to San Diego.
Yeah, that seems like a fucking awesome show. It's Shane Gillis,
Oh my god.
Joey Diaz,
Yeah.
Brian Simpson.
Yeah, and with like Taylor and Dustin, and I know they all kind of like some were coming and going from the tour at different times, but I mean it's Bert, so it's a party. You know it's gonna be
Is he
fun.
Does he drink with the comics?
Oh yeah, I think he just drinks. He just
Oh my
drinks,
God.
and everyone else is there.
Didn't
so
Mark Norman go on tour with him and he had to quit because it was like too much drinking?
I think so. I think that came out. But then that's the other thing is like you see all these pictures of these guys, and like the next morning they're all sitting there getting IVs and getting hydrated professionally so they
Yeah.
can go out and do it again the next day.
Yeah, I did that.
What's
I did
that
the
like?
IV.
Do you actually feel like? Can you feel?
I felt better. It wasn't like noticeably better.
Were you
but
hungover to
I
start?
wasn't feeling shitty. No, I wasn't that hungover.
You were. Oh, okay.
I was just sort of normal. It's just crazy because you see this bag over your head and all that is going in your body
Right.
and you can't do anything to stop it. And you're just like sitting there.
But it's good. Like you want
Yeah,
this.
it's good stuff,
the best-
apparently.
yeah.
But it's like a bag of more like, here, carry this.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that in your bloodstream. You just got water in your blood or whatever that
Well,
is.
it's water and electrolytes and vitamins, and I'm sure they like now. It's funny if you look them up, they get like the B12 additives and vitamin C, crazy dosages, and
Yeah.
if you got the money, I mean, it's probably an amazing thing to do. So, what do you got?
Hopefully it's
Is it live?
Going
Are we
out.
even happening?
it doesn't. Let me check on the
Check it.
Gmail.
If you're, like, so this is going live on where? On YouTube?
Yeah. Let me start.
Technical,
Hopefully it's been going now.
or
But,
it hasn't. It doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
So do you even record this, or you just start it live whenever it happens to happen?
I usually just do it live and then it happens.
And that's that. There it is.
Interesting. Well, I'm recording it. Let me stop recording. Sorry.
That's all right. Do you?
I don't know if it's going out. Let me stop streaming.
HANS? Yeah, there we go. We'll go to your channel. Videos. I don't see anything saying it's live or that there is a live thing. Channel's about. Live. Nope.
Okay, well, it's recording. So how have you been?
Pretty good. You know, I mean, I'm here. That's exciting and
Yeah.
awesome. I technically came through town like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But that was for like one night. It was really before comedy was even a thing for me, really. But now I'm here, and it's great to see the guys. And you know, I haven't really spent time with Hassan or Derek in a couple of years at least, and Brian too, and
How long
Jeffrey.
have you been doing comedy?
10 years. 10 years. What about you? Where'd you start?
9 years.
9 years.
Seattle.
And how long were you there before?
5.
Mm-hmm.
3 in New York. 1 here.
What was New York like?
It was amazing
Why'd you move here?
because there was a pandemic.
And just everything there shut down? Or
Well, yeah, it was like death and destruction. It was like in 2020 when I moved out.
mm-hmm.
So it was like right during the middle of it. I used to live in a van and I was on a road trip to Miami, and then that shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just escaped. I was in Miami anyway, so then I went to Seattle, then I went to LA, and then I went camping in the Joshua Tree area.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I saw your van. So how long have you had your van?
4 years.
And that was the plan. I'm going to build it out. I'm going to
Live in it in New York.
In the city.
Yeah,
So you were just like moving it from
I was
space
paying
to space
0 rent
in New York City,
right near Manhattan.
and had a pretty comfortable place. I mean, the van
Yeah, I
was
could
comfy.
stand up.
Was it?
I had a heater.
Was it sketchy at all? Like, were you ever kind of worried about people outside the van or messing with the van, or?
I was worried about like nosy neighbors and like, homeowners associations or whatever.
Right.
The equivalent is in New York. But yeah, no.
Did you ever get like evicted from your space?
No,
Like cops now?
technically it was legal.
Right.
Like if it's by the book. I think people like sort of in New York, everyone minds their own business a lot. Because if you care about other people, you're gonna spend all day caring. So you're just like, whatever, do it, do you. Just don't let it affect my life.
Right. And so as long as you weren't like trashing the area, they didn't
Yeah.
care if a van was sitting there. Because that's a funny thing with New York is like a van like yours. One, it doesn't look like a camping van. It doesn't look like you're living. Like it looks like it used to be a plumbing truck or something, and it's
Yeah.
probably still being used to run deliveries around town.
There's nothing on the outside. I resisted the urge to put any stickers on it or
Right.
paint it or anything, which would have been extra money.
Right.
It goes against the whole philosophy of the van.
Yeah, but even it draws attention. That's the one thing. It's like, which path are you going? Are you trying to live in a city and be incognito, or are you trying to be like, I'm living the van life and watch my journey on YouTube, which I fully support. I mean, I love the idea of it. But
Yeah,
you were doing it in
living
a way.
your life for a show.
Yeah,
That's fun.
but you didn't do that. You were like, no, I'm just trying to not pay
Well,
rent in New York.
I would have if I could have. I don't have that skill of like being able to film myself and people find it inherently interesting.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's a skill. I think some people are good at it. I don't think it's just natural. I think if you want to get good at it, you can if you work at it, like Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
But I don't think necessarily everyone's born out the womb being able to communicate via YouTube.
What about in general? Like, I mean, here's the interesting part. I know who you are because I've heard you brought up on Rogan. I've heard that like you've opened for Rogan and like done tours, like shows with him.
Yeah.
But I've never seen your comedy. But in the total of 35 minutes, maybe we've been in the same room for the first time ever. You're very chill. You're very kind of monotone. You're very, like,
Yeah.
would you agree?
Yeah, I'm robotic. I have
Okay.
no emotions.
Why? But you feel on the inside.
Definitely.
Okay. You just don't
More
emote.
than
Why why is that?
Well, I think Asian culture is like built around long-term survival and boring, shit.
What is that? What do you mean by boring? Like long-term survival, I get.
It's like no energy, no testosterone. It's just all meekly getting by life with the least amount of energy possible.
Okay. But yet you chose to do comedy, which is a very performance-based, in front of stand-up alpha maneuver.
Yeah.
Masculine maneuver from the standpoint of like it's an alpha thing to do to get on
Right.
stage and command 200 or 2,000 people's attention.
But
and you do that well, clearly.
Well,
if
I
you're,
do it with the Asian method. So I do like an alpha thing by being a beta. It's like
Explain.
like I'm meekly, just like going up there and doing it, and it's like I'm doing like being the best beta. instead of, I don't know, but it's like Asian shit. It's like I don't want to display any emotions because that might cause trouble.
For
You know?
for like, is it cause trouble, or is it like I don't want to put my emotions on you, so I just don't emote emotion at all?
Yeah, it's a different way of interacting with people.
That's like, as far as the way you've said it is an Asian way of being.
Yeah. Here is my offering of sentence, and you can accept or deny, but I'm not trying to get in there and trying to mess with your wiring or plumbing. But I think Americans are just like, let me get in there and fucking mind meld.
All my feelings and all my,
Yeah.
I'm gonna dump it on you and make you kind of deal with
Yeah.
my.
How are you doing? Oh, well, you know, the cat died again.
Where if somebody asks you, how are you doing? What's your answer?
Oh,
If your
very
cat
good.
died,
Nothing to worry about here.
and then you ate the cat.
Yeah, the cat's been cooked. Yeah, it's all a ploy to eat more cats.
So well, then how? So you grew up in a very Asian, like very deep Asian culture. Like where
Yeah,
was that?
pretty Asian. I mean, I was born in New Jersey, but my mom and dad were Asian,
What type of Asian?
Korean.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Asia was a part of my life.
Where you grew up? Was it a large Asian community? So you were like within it
There was like a church, and we all hung out
a
with
lot,
the
right?
Koreans. Yeah.
And that's like multiple nights a week. Like, isn't that a thing?
Sometimes, yeah.
And so, but
It's
like,
fun.
were you like around? Like, I have a
It's
friend.
just like such an excuse to hang out. It's like we have to pretend Jesus exists so that we can see other Koreans.
And not
But that's what
emote
it
any of our
takes.
emotions, by the way. We're
There's
gonna
no
go-
like, what are we gonna have a book club? It's like, I don't know. It's like practical and it's like, yeah, it requires a suspension of disbelief. And then people are like, oh, you're just here to make friends. Then they don't respect you because you're not religious enough, whatever that means.
So then there's a competition of how religious you are.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because you're saying this stuff is like, oh, the Asian way is like we don't put our emotions out. We're very we're survivalists. We're not putting our stuff on other people.
Yeah.
Yet you're faking religion, as you put it, to make friends and be social. But then what are you even
Well,
social
some
about?
people are.
Okay. Were your parents those people? Like, were you?
No, my parents were true believers, I think.
So they were they were the ones judging the others?
Yeah.
Was that, do you still believe?
No.
How'd that go? How old were you when you were like, this ain't it, mom and dad?
Like middle school, high school.
And what happened with them?
I just sort of just coasted. Just, like Bill Burr's bit, where he's like, it's like curling on the seventh day.
Yeah. But how did your parents take that? Did they even,
I didn't really tell them.
you just stopped going to church with them?
Yeah, that's how little I respect it. I was like, you don't need it. It's all bullshit. Oh, I believe.
But
If
so
they
that's
ask
how
me.
little you respect the religion side, or
Yeah.
your parent? Your
My
parents?
the religion, which I have conflicting thoughts on, but yeah, it's like the religion is sort of like if it's not real, then why would I make it a big deal?
Well,
Like,
who was saying it's not real? Because if you're going to this thing and your parents are true believers, then to them it's real. Do you think they
Yeah.
believe it's real? They're true, like this is the word of God, and this
I
is.
don't know. It's been a while. In the 90s, it was easier to be a true believer. That's when I grew up, but I think now, I mean, I don't know how you could, but I'm sure that it's, I don't know. I'd have to ask them.
So that hasn't really come up. That doesn't.
No.
What do they think about you doing comedy? I mean, this is considering how what's the word? How I can't think of it, but just traditional. It seems like from an Asian standpoint, you grew up with the culture. Yeah. Comedy is not usually. It's like you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a this. You need to excel and succeed. What did they think when you were like, I'm comedy?
Well, I had been caught shoplifting and been suspended for a semester in college, and they were like, I got fired from my job, and I was living with my mom, and I would come home at like 1 a.m. and she'd be like, where were you? That was the first night I went to a mic. She's like, you're going down a bad path. And then I was like, I was at a comedy, I'm going to do comedy now. It's like, okay. And then she never asked about it again.
Just let you keep doing it.
Yeah.
First of all, what did you steal? What did you shoplift?
Like a bowl, like plates, a little computer mouse. I put it all in a backpack and I was gonna walk out. And
What
the
store?
cop was like, "Excuse me, sir." Target.
Target.
in Atlantic Station in Atlanta.
Which these don't seem like, like this is like kind of necessity stuff. Like you needed
Yeah.
a bowl, you needed some cutlery and something to
It
eat.
was the most inefficient thing to steal in terms of per square inch, per cubic inch.
That's kind of bulky items.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you got the cop stopped you, grabbed you.
Yeah.
Full arrest? Full
Yeah, jail.
overnight?
No. Well into the night, like midnight.
Your parents bailed you out? Or they just released you?
I forget who bailed me out. I don't think there was a bail. I think I went into pre-trial convictions or whatever.
They were like, we know you did it. You did
Yeah.
it. Just say you did
But
it.
it was like a black thing. A lot of blacks there. And I was like the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't fit in. So they like gave me pre-trial diversion. Like get out of here. Wait, we don't want to get on the news. So they gave me like the white people pass, I think. I don't know if that was really the case, but
That's how it felt at the time.
yeah, they're like, you don't belong here. You're gonna get murdered in here, and we don't want to be held responsible. So just go, cause you're not black. Anyways, got out of that jail, and then I paid a lawyer, the same lawyer that defended Travis McMichaels against Ahmaud Arbery in the Georgia case.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he was my lawyer, and he got me off with community service that I didn't even fully do. I just forged a document.
Okay. Is somebody knocking?
Yeah.
Can you let them in, Arunas?
Thank you.
All right. So it took an arrest for you to decide comedy is now the thing.
Yeah. That's all it
You're gonna
took.
pause. Put in the fourth mic.
Right over there. We're gonna shift things toward the middle a little bit. Hopefully it's working now.
Do you want to try to squeeze that chair in? Yeah, because it's still going to be too big.
So you want both of you on this camera then?
Yeah.
Zoom this out.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
How's it going?
Good.
I saw you yesterday
wanna-
walking out of the Rogan thing, man. I was gonna say
Oh,
hi, but
nice.
You were busy.
Do you you have is there another chair down there that's not that high?
No.
Or not that I saw.
I'm
Okay.
James, by the way.
Shiva.
Shiva, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Kinsey.
Hi, Kinsey. James.
Kinsey Hans on Kinsey.
Hey, nice to meet you.
I can look.
I don't know why this isn't working.